Hello, I'm Stuart Bloor. It's June the 15th, it's the evening, and that can only mean one thing. We're just a few hours away from the start of the river season, and I'm going to be there for midnight. Anyway, I'm going to fish a very small waterway, one that I came across almost by chance. I was walking along one day, a few years back now, and I noticed a few small chub, which didn't surprise me because they will get anywhere, but in with them I spotted one or two barbel, not big ones, about the £4 mark, but I was absolutely amazed and gobsmacked. It's not a place that I've seen anglers fishing at all. Probably would just give it a miss, because not assuming that there would be anything in there. Chub, never mind barbel. Anyway, I've been back a few times since, and if you do follow my blog on a regular basis, you'll know that I have caught barbel from there. Again, as I emphasise, not big fish, but the thrill, the achievement is actually getting one out of there, and that's where I'm heading for opening night. So I'll see you at the water's edge. I'm here now, and I've navigated my way through the jungle. I've got short sleeves and I've got so many nettle stings, my arms, all those lumps, feel like a toad. I've nearly fell in twice. Now, for those of us that fish running water, and in particular this type of fishing, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you're the sort of angler that goes to a nice laid out lawn swim, well, you wouldn't know exactly what I'm trying to say on this session, but for those of you who experience this sort of thing, brilliant, isn't it? And we wouldn't have it any other way. And while I'm waiting for the time to cast out, I'm listening to some bats on my bat box. Session number 2, I'm on the lower Severn, another jungle encounter just to clear the peg out, hacking away at all this balsam and nettles, even rape growing down here. So it's quite a task to get set up. Anyway, I'm fishing now. On the one rod I've got a Frankfurter sausage boilie, and on the other I'm fishing a pellet, and they're both over hemp that's been flavoured with undercover barbel flavouring from SBS, although that's no longer available at the moment as I speak, but I've still got some left, and I'm put some pellets out as well and some loose offerings. I'm fishing about 3 rod lengths out, and as always I'm confident I'm on a proper river this time, proper barbel river. Although having said that, a lot of very experienced barbel anglers won't touch the lower Severn until September or October at the earliest, but I've always done quite well on here early in the season. Just had a screamer and about to go and net it. Oh, it's a bream. It's a small bream. Well, that fish has now gone back. At least I'm not a blanker, although I want to get the barbel, of course. Funnily enough, talking about bream and the lower Severn, to most serious dedicated barbel anglers, the bream are nothing but a nuisance. But actually, if you are an all-rounder, there are some really good fish in the lower reaches of the Severn, and in due course, in a future, oh, a little bit of a indication there, but no fish, in a future blog, keep your eyes peeled, as watch this space, as they say, because I will actually be targeting bream on the lower Severn. I'm on the middle Severn this time, and I've got a fish on. It's a roach actually, small roach. Another species for the camp this week, but no barbel. Following my earlier roach, I've just caught a chub. I'm catching everything except barbel. Back on the lower Severn, and it's dusk as you can tell from the camera, and I'm into my first barbel of the season. I've done a few sessions. I haven't blanked. I've had chub and roach, bream and even an eel on an air rigged bait. But I'll tell you one thing, you know when you've got a barbel on the end of the line. It's fantastic. A real screamer. Struck into it. It's given me a bit of a run around. It's a decent enough fish, I think. But at this stage of the season, I'm just happy to get one on the bank. Now that is what you call a barbel. What a great way to start my barbel fishing season. Brilliant. You can just about see it there, although it's getting quite dark now. It's now dark. As you can see, the fish has long gone back to its watery home, and I'm buzzing. I'm here for the night and I'm really looking forward to it. Anything now is just a bonus, really. The good thing about that fish, from a perspective of bait, is that a lot of anglers think to catch good fish you need to buy lots and lots of expensive stuff. Well, that particular barbel was caught on a 20mm boilie from the Flumino range, which is a new one from SBS, and the cost is €6.20 per kilo. Now when I arrived, I put some hemp out, flavoured with some ground bait to create a little trail about a quarter of the way across the river, and then I've put out about 20 boilies, and that's all that I've put out there so far. So it's not exactly breaking the bank, is it? It's a squid and octopus, and I'm really pleased because I wanted to fish with this budget range to show that you don't have to spend vast amounts of money on bait to catch good fish. I had what's known as a quiet night. That's the thing with fishing in general, and certainly with the lower Severn, if you're familiar with it. Sometimes when dusk approaches and it starts to get dark, the place is alive with big fish crashing everywhere. Other times it's dead, and last night it was like a cemetery. There was absolutely no movement at all, not just from big fish but from small ones. Anyway, I caught that one, didn't I, at dusk. And fishing is like that sometimes. It's a very fine line between success and failure, and I would put success and failure in inverted commas, because ultimately it's about enjoying yourself, and I always do, whether I catch or not. But of course it's always good to be on the right side of that line. Anyway, the video comes to an end. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, why not share it? Check out my website. You can follow me on Twitter, like my angling Facebook page, but above all, if you're out and about yourself, tight lines. I don't know if you can hear it, but there's a skylark just started singing in the meadow opposite. But if you're out and about yourself, tight lines, enjoy, and I'll see you next week.